G'day everyone, I hope you're doing well. It's Taggy here, and I thought we really needed a shareable drone show in Planet Coaster 2. So I made a drone, and I made some more. Then I figured out the lighting, and I figured out all the complex movement that's required. And then I hid it all in a really easily controllable, configurable panel. And finally, I simplified it further and made a shareable version for you on the workshop. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, I am very excited to share this with you. I've got 18 drones in the air there ready to roll. And down here is my master sequence I just need to hit play on. Before I do that, just a reminder that I'm going to give you all the tools, and I've taken a lot of the technical complexity out of it so you can create your own drone shows too. So stick around to the end of the video for that. And for now, let's hit play. So as you can see, each drone has its own colored light, and they can be timed to the music. Not only are they colored, but they can be programmed to change their color too. And one of the nice things is that we can group drones together and apply the effect to all of them. It was really important to me that drones could move independently of each other and also be moved in groups. And by combining that, we can get some really nice sequences like this burst out here. And by combining it with the color, the music, you'll be able to create a drone show that sort of matches the mood of your entire display. So yeah, that's the drone show example. Okay guys, we're now to the fun part. We've got our 2 groups of 9 drones here humming away. And under the ground here, I have a secret panel which will give us the full control without having to click on all the little pieces that make it possible. So a bit like a sound desk that you'd see in a theater, we can control each drone individually. So let's have a look at this one. So if I pop up, click up, it's going to move it up. And if we want it to, let's see, rotate or oscillate on itself, can do that too. And maybe we'll come over to the right one here and make it go right, and we'll get it to animate left and right as it goes so it can do a full circle. And yeah, you've got a lot of control in terms of being able to make them go up, down, and all sorts of things. And by combining the variety of movements, because each one is individualized, you can do some really fun stuff. So maybe a circular motion up and down in the air like that. Of course, by combining the variety of motions, you can get some pretty interesting sequences like spirals and sort of wave effects. And that's what I found was so fun about this, is just once you've got the controls, you can just go and make your own sequences and put them all into a group. So the next part is these panels on the bottom here, which groups the drones in groups of 9. And a bit like the other controllers, we can rotate the whole set on its own different axis points. So this one's on that top corner, whereas if we rotate it on that one, it would spin in a different position. We can move the whole group out to the right and pause it while it sits there for a little bit, and then it will come back. Yeah, so you got a lot of control. And once you've got your elements together, you can save them into a sequence like so. So even though that's playing like that, we can then combine a spiral lift and it comes back down. We might want a wave effect and do it fast with a pause. And there's a whole range of blank ones here that you can create your own and add as you see fit. So that's really fun, I think. And yeah, different animations that you can combine to create like different spread effects. So that one works quite well. And you might want to combine a pre-sequence with something else. So let's have a look. We can move this one outwards. So we'll rotate it off there, and then we'll hit the spread so it doesn't collide with those ones. So just by experimenting and playing with the different varieties, yeah, you can get some really nice effects. Then of course at night time, we've got all the lighting. So we'll come back here and we can turn the lights on or off as a group. So I've got the group light on here. I'll just press play there. That brings all those guys on. and we can potentially cycle the lights, different colors. So yeah, the greens, the blues, the purples. And you might want to set some blinking, and you can set your own blinking animation. So we've got a 1 second blink, and then you can duplicate that as many times as you need to get up to say 10 seconds of blinking. And again, you can control all of those and add more as you see fit. So I've got a range of, again, blanks over here. So I've got a rainbow spiral, which once that's finished, we can implement. So it's just going around like that in a flow and changing the color as well. So you can see there's quite a lot of possibilities. Okay, let's have a quick look at the drones themselves. I will go into the full detail of how I built this whole platform in another video, but for now, I'll just give you a quick overview. You've got a ball at the top of the drone, which is reflecting the light from a spotlight. As of the time of this recording, the only way we can trigger lights is through spotlights. And yeah, I played around with many different examples, but this was the best one in terms of getting a really nice bright light at the night time. So yeah, you can see that it does work quite well. Obviously, it'd be awesome if we could place that at the bottom of the drone. So Frontier, if you're listening, give me a global sphere that I can trigger and I'll be very happy, man. Yeah, so each drone has rotating propellers, and there's quite a few there, probably more than there would be in real life, but that gives the illusion of motion. And inside the drone is a little speaker, so I don't know if you can hear that. I'll just unmute the sound, and yeah, there's a humming, and that's just a few seconds of a piece of music playing over and over again, and that gives us a nice Doppler effect too as the drones swing by. I did play for hours trying to make a light at the bottom of the drone, and what I found is that the actual spotlight has got these little LEDs, but doesn't look that great in the sky at night. So I found that you can, I'm not sure if it works without ray tracing, but certainly with ray tracing, and you've got a decent graphics card, you can basically build your own lens. So yeah, it's very bright, it looks like the real deal, but the problem with it is it's sort of one direction. It's sort of shooting straight down. But if that's something that you want, there's a different type of drone variety here for you compared to the glowing balls. But I think for all purposes, that looks the best, and I'd love to have that at the bottom of the drone. So maybe in a future update, we'll be able to add that. All right, everyone, I'm going to show you very quickly how to create this from scratch. So we've got this blueprint here. It might change as I upload it and improve it, but it will be available in the workshop. And you just need to bury it into the ground. And the first thing you'll notice is that the drones will move weirdly because the triggers are all going over the place. So if you just hit undo and then redo, that resets everything nicely after you place it. So don't forget to do that, otherwise you'll be frustrated. You can take the grouping of the drones and just get them to the height you want, and then the control panel itself can be placed just while you work on your sequence. So here we are. I then like to ungroup that so I can just get some nice easy access to the buttons, and we can begin programming our sequence. Okay, well, let's create a quick little sequence here. I've got a blank sequence item which we'll use, for example, and I'm going to edit that and add an object. So this allows us to now very clearly see our motion panel, and if you press L on the keyboard, you'll get your torch, so that's useful. You can turn that off and on. But let's create a little wave effect. So we'll go from this corner to that corner, and I know that that button there is the up button. And if we do this in the correct order, it's going to make life very easy for us when we come to do a staggered animation. So I'm just going to go through in the right order, and this will place those items on the timeline like so. Now I've named everything, so it should be really obvious what's going on. So these are all up motions, and the cool thing about the sequencer is as you roll over them, it will show you which button you're pressing. And there's no having to go into the ground and dig around with motion panels or anything like that. It's all taken care of. So let's take a little stagger animation here, and we'll just place these on top of each other. Now an important thing to note here is that when you are moving the variety of pieces that may overlap each other, be aware that the elements need to sort of finish their cycle. I can overlap these ones because they're actually separate buttons, and just keep that in mind. So if you get some weird behaviors, sometimes that might be the cause. So if I hit play now, that should do a little wave effect lifting up in that sequence that we created. And you can imagine now as a group of 9, if I created a sequence like that where we placed 4 corners together, you'd get a really nice sort of puddle wave or some sort of pyramid shape. And that's one of the powerful things about this game, is that you can do that type of thing. All right, so we'll stop that and let's have a look at renaming this. So we'll call it corner wave. And you can come in and now label your blank. Call that corner wave. Give it capitals to match. And there we go. Now we've got a new sequence added to our panel. And we can now add that to another sequence or add it to our master sequence and go from there. And it's as easy as that. Just to quickly show you as well, if you wanted to add a bit of variety to this corner wave, so we'll bring the timeline back and start it. Add an object here. Let's say we want it to do an oscillate or a stepped motion maybe. Let's actually go for a quarter oscillate, and let's make the rotation happen on this corner here as well. And we can even move it away from the camera. So all of those things happening in tandem gives you sort of a climbing snaky shape. But anyway, as you can see, there's just endless possibilities with this one, and you can try a whole range of different motions and stack them all together to create a pretty compelling drone show. So I hope that excites you, and I can't wait to see what people come up with. And again, remember, at the end of your creation process, you can just make a simple button and make that the focal point in your park. And it's really nice when you're walking around in a park that you can actually walk up to these buttons and just press them, but hide it away and no one's the wiser. There's your drone show. Well, there you have it, a drone show in Planet Coaster 2. I think it's going to go really nicely with fireworks, but I'm mostly excited to see what you do with the blueprint and maybe take it from there. Thanks so much for joining me. Please consider giving me a like and subscribe, it really helps me out. But until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers everyone, bye.